Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Welcome back. This episode is going to be about insulating my floor. Uh, this is probably going to cause debates. It's going to bring many people out saying I'm doing it wrong or this way is better, etc. etc. Because everybody seems to have an opinion when it comes to insulation. On the last build I used jablite polystyrene board from B&Q, and as I said before, I will use them again in future builds, and that is what I've done. I'm going with the jablite polystyrene boards for the floor, but my personal opinion, it could be wrong, I don't care, heat rises, so whether I use this on the floor or whether I use Kingspan on the floor, my feet are still going to be cold. So the way I see it is any insulation is better than no insulation. So I've gone for the budget option. As I say, I've used it before, the van was warm, and I'm going to use it again. People have their own views. Everyone is entitled to their own view. So if you don't like it, no doubt you're going to put a thumbs down. I don't care. This is what I want to use. So, going to use that. But in between, I've got, and that's not the one. There it is. So I've gone for 25 by 30 mil batten. And what I'm doing with this is I'm making a frame around the edge, but it's always handy to work out the layout of your van before you put your batten down, purely because you can put the battens where your furniture is going to give it added support. So for instance, where my seats end, I've got a batten there underneath, because then I can screw down through the seats, the base of them, into the battens underneath, which will give it extra support. These are all getting glued down with Sikaflex. You can screw them down, you can rivet nut them, you can do whatever, but me personally, I don't want to put more screw holes in the floor, so I'm going to Sikaflex all my batten down. And once I've got 12mm plywood on top, that's going to hold it in place, and I'm going to have all the furniture, everything built on top, so it's not going to move, it's going to be weighed down, so I'm not screwing it down. So yeah, I'll show you now how I'm doing it. So as you can see here, I've got my batten across, and this is where my seating will end, and I've done it along here as well, alongside of the shower, because that is where my shower wall will go. And then I'm going to add another one. Oh, tripping over. There we go. My other batten is going to run just in front of my batteries. Move that out of the way because that's the wrong piece. So yeah, I've got me one there, and I'll have another one here, which is going to be the other seat. My batteries are going to be underneath the seat, and where my batteries are going, I'm going to add more battens underneath the batteries to keep them secure, and it gives me somewhere to fix these down to. Then I've got a batten here, which is going to be where the kitchen starts. In the middle here, I'll be having my table leg, so I'll add some more batten in the centre to give it support, and somewhere for the table leg to screw into. So as you can see here, along the batteries I've double supported each one, and I've also added a strap, because then that'll go underneath the buttons, and then the floor's going to go on top, so I'll put a slit for the strap to come through, and then that's an additional support for the batteries, as well as screwing them down into the buttons and the floor. I might even put another beam coming across to give it more strength, but that there will be perfect. It'll stop them from moving, but you can't have enough support for the batteries, because the last thing you want is for them to come loose. So now I've put the buttons down and the insulation. Just going to go along now all of the buttons and covering foil tape to make it all airtight. Ideally, for the hole for the turret plate, it would be better having a hole saw the right size. Unfortunately, I haven't got one of them, and I don't fancy forking out £20–30 for one. So what I done was, the bottom of the turret plate that goes through, it's the same diameter as a bowl that we had. So I drew around the bowl and then put a few holes in around the edge and then jigsawed it out. Nice and simple. All good. Now I've just got to rub down the edge, rust treat it, and then seal it. There we go, all my buttons are now sealed within the insulation. Here I've got my strap, which is going to help secure the batteries. I've got that going underneath the buttons and the insulation. That is secured to the floor, so that now will help with the battery. Got the part which is ready for my table leg, so I've got a nice area there. My one sofa's going to go there, my next sofa, and then along here here's the kitchen, seats, shower. First two are in now, and there we go. Got my strap running through as well now for the batteries. And now to get the next one done, the other side of the shower. So there we go, I've got the last piece down, and I've also worked out where my diesel heater is going to go. So before I put the floor down, I actually cut the hole out. It just made it easier rather than going through the whole lot. So cut that out, and what I've done, I've put buttons coming along here where the turret plate screws onto, and all of the buttons and everything underneath there, including the insulation, it's all been foil taped just to keep more of the heat away from it, and also to keep it more airtight inside as well. There also will be some heat sealant going around the turret plate before it goes in. Can't remember the name, but that'll be on the diesel heater video anyway. There we go, cut around all my legs. Van's a bit of a mess at the moment, just doing different bits here and there, but yeah, all good, all sorted, and everything is now secure on the deck. There we go, got started the installation now as well, so all good. So the base of the floor is now complete, and the insulation as well. A bit windy outside. So what I've done is I've gone with 25 by 30mm battens from B&Q. They were like $3.90 each, say £4, and I used 3 or 4 of them, so £16 on the wood. The insulation that I used was 25mm jablite insulation boards, also from B&Q. They were the 2.4 by 1.2 in size. They were roughly about £10 each, and I had 2 of them, and as you can see I've still got some left over. So that's £20 for the jablite insulation. The plywood that I use, I was given this from work for free, but I was going to use the original that was already down in here, but because I got given some from work, decided to use that instead. Nice fresh, rather than having oily wood that I've got to try and treat and sort out. So that was free. What else is there? Sikaflex, I used 2 tubes of Sikaflex. They were £6 each, the ones that I used. So I used 2 of them, so that was £12. And I think that the DPM, I never foiled over the top. I used a DPM sheet instead, a damp-proof membrane sheet. That was from Screwfix, which was £7.99 for a 3x4 metre piece. So yeah, I used a black damp-proof membrane sheet over that. What else did I use? The tape, the silver foil tape. It's about £4 or £5. That was from Screwfix or Toolstation. They both do it. I think it's the same price. So in total, the floor has cost about £61, £61, roughly about that. So it's made it a lot cheaper having the free plywood. If you can use the existing floor, it's a bit of a bonus, or even use that as a template on your next one, because that's what I've done for this. I used the old floor, cut around everything as a template. Also as well, just spotted it in the corner. It is a bit scrunched up, you probably can't see it. On here I've written down the measurements on where the battens are underneath the floor, so when I come to fix anything to the floor, I know exactly where all my battens are. That definitely helps, especially when you're screwing your kitchen or your sofas or anything down to the floor. Definitely helps. And as you can see, that's been screwed up because I was about to throw it away. So I also would recommend getting a notepad, a proper, or a folder or something. It's any kind of notes, keep them all together, because I've got that. I've just got paper scattered everywhere. A bit unorganised this time. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Hope it helps in some way, and see you on the next video. Take care all.